One day, humans will disappear. Not today, not tomorrow, but one day, every city we built, every road, every skyscraper, every light glowing from space will be gone. And the terrifying part is this: some species won't just survive it, they'll barely even notice. In fact, some of the creatures living around you right now are far more likely to inherit the planet than we are, and some have already survived events far worse than humanity's extinction. So, let's get started. And we're not going to begin with just any random living creature. I wonder if you considered this one when clicking on the video. But anyway, here we go. Modern humans have existed for roughly 300,000 years. Cockroaches have been here for around 300 million. That means they were already crawling across the earth about 1,000 times longer than our entire species has existed. Before cities, before civilization, before mammals even became dominant. They survived asteroid impacts, mass extinctions, ice ages, and shifts in the planet so extreme that entire ecosystems disappeared, and yet they remained. There are over 4,000 known species of cockroach living everywhere from tropical forests to sewer systems to the walls of apartment blocks. Some can survive weeks without food. Others can live for days without their heads because they breathe through tiny openings in their bodies rather than relying entirely on their mouths. Even in environments flooded with radiation, certain species show a resilience that far exceeds most larger animals. They don't need perfect conditions. They need almost nothing. Darkness, moisture, tiny cracks to hide in. That's enough. And if human civilization collapsed tomorrow, the first thing to happen wouldn't be silence. It would be expansion. Buildings decay, walls crack, pipes leak. In other words, the world we leave behind becomes almost ideal habitat. And that's what makes them so unsettling. Cockroaches don't survive because they're strong. They survive because they don't need the world to stay stable. They thrive in chaos, and they are only the beginning. But some species wouldn't hide in the world we leave behind. They would inherit it in plain sight. Pigeons. Most people see them as background noise. Birds on rooftops, train stations, and city squares. But that's exactly what makes them so successful. There are estimated to be between 260 and 400 million pigeons worldwide, thriving in almost every major city on Earth. And the unsettling truth is, our cities were almost built for them. Pigeons descend from wild rock doves, birds that originally nested on cliffs and rocky ledges. To them, a skyscraper isn't unnatural. It's just a taller cliff. Bridges become nesting sites. Window ledges become safe perches. Entire city centers become permanent feeding grounds. The concrete world we built accidentally mimics the exact environment they evolved for thousands of years. And if humans vanished, that advantage only grows. No traffic, no crowds, no constant disturbance, just millions of square meters of elevated shelter left behind. A single pair of pigeons can raise up to 6 broods a year, producing 10 to 12 chicks annually under ideal conditions. Now imagine that across a city like New York, which is estimated to already have more than 1 million pigeons. Within just a few years, their numbers could surge into the millions more. And they're not fragile birds either. Pigeons can fly at speeds of up to 90 miles per hour, navigate across hundreds of miles, and some homing breeds have been recorded returning from over 1,000 kilometers away. They don't just survive cities, they dominate them. The eerie part is this: they're already here, already living above us, already thriving in the spaces we created. If we disappeared tomorrow, the skyline may not stay empty for long. But the species most likely to outlive humanity isn't something you would ever see coming. It doesn't stalk the streets we leave behind. It doesn't nest in our buildings. It doesn't wait in the shadows above our cities. In fact, most of it exists in places we will never see, miles beneath the Earth's surface, buried inside ancient rock. At the bottom of the ocean, in total darkness, under pressures so extreme they would crush almost any living thing in seconds. Some of it lives in boiling acidic pools. Some of it survives in frozen ice that has remained untouched for thousands, sometimes millions, of years. And the strangest part? Human extinction wouldn't change its world at all. Because in many cases, we were never part of it to begin with. This life has existed in complete darkness, isolated from the surface, multiplying silently in places our species has never touched. And there may be more of it on this planet than almost anything else combined. We're talking about bacteria, and this is where the idea becomes truly unsettling. Scientists estimate there may be around 5 nonillion bacteria on Earth. That's a 5 followed by 30 zeros. For perspective, that's more individual organisms than there are stars in the observable universe. Think about how bizarre that is. The life form most likely to outlive us is also the one we almost never think about. Not because it's rare, but because it is everywhere. In the soil, in the air, inside your body, deep underground, at the bottom of the sea, long after the lights in our cities go out. They would continue multiplying in the dark, silent, invisible, unbothered, as if we were never here at all. For all our technology, all our cities, all our sense of permanence, we may only be a moment in the planet's history, because life does not need us. It never did. And long after every road cracks, every building falls, and every light goes dark, some things will still be here, moving, growing, multiplying, quietly inheriting the world after us, as if we were never here. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. As usual, I won't ask you of anything, but if you want to help for free, you know what to do.